newly acquired number one pick, Cade Cunningham. He's played a couple summer league games up to this point. I think he had 12 points first game. They lost. 20 points second game. They lost. I will say, I think overall, just like my take on him is I like his leadership. I feel like he's very vocal, not scared to defend. I think he does a lot of different things very well. On ball defense, passing, rebounding, getting to the cup, shooting the three ball. I guess I didn't really realize how, obviously we all know he's number one pick for a reason, but I didn't realize myself how put together he is. But I'm glad. One knock I had on him after the first game, I feel like he wasn't aggressive enough. I feel like if he was a little bit more aggressive, they probably would have won that game.
Yeah.
I think the second game, I think Houston just had a better team. They had 3 first-round picks on their team. I think they were able to kind of just take control of that game. Pistons also it's obviously the summer league. They also have a couple guys down that aren't playing that, would definitely have made a difference. But, I think I like what I saw. I think he's going to fit in really well. I think him and Killian are playing pretty well together. And obviously, though, it's only August, and they'll get things figured out when the season comes, how they want to play those guys together. But I just want to see what your thoughts were on Cade in his first couple games.
Yeah, I actually really like what I see. I do agree. Maybe could have been a little more aggressive in the first game. He's not shooting the greatest percentage either. Those would be the only 2 knocks I have on him. But I would say game does look pretty polished. Him coming down without hesitating a step, without breaking stride, pulling threes from a couple feet behind 3-point line with confidence. Him doing that, just solid defending, opening up the floor, getting other people involved. Had a handful of assists, and overall very polished offensive game. I seen him get to the basket, nice spin move, right, get into the lane. That for a 6'8" guy that's only 19 years old. I would say that's very promising, and that makes me feel very good about what we do have as far as a talent and a young man that looks like he wants to come in and put in the work. And so I have nothing but praise. I do think the Jalen Green kid is good. I like the 1-2 battle between the 2 of them. I think that generally speaking, I think the great players in drafts do have another guy that's also pretty great tied to them that they're always kind of battling with. If you think LeBron and D-Wade and Melo, if you think way back to Jordan and Elijah Wan, and the people that are just very solid other solid players that came in your draft, you're all kind of tied and linked to them, and you can have that duo throughout your career. It happens in football as well with quarterbacks. So I think if they can kind of keep that rivalry going, and ride that into this coming up year, and maybe have a good battle for Rookie of the Year, that'd be good for both players to kind of keep pushing them and striving for it. But I think we're looking pretty good. I think Killian and him looks very good together. Killian looks a little more poised and less rushed than I would say I seen him look even towards the end of last season once he came back after injury. So I think it's a good day to be a Pistons fan.
He's pure pass first. I'm glad that he's working on his game to make himself like a formidable 3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like a formidable scorer. And I just like the Cade fit. I know there's a lot of people out there that Jalen Green, like they thought he might have been the better fit, and he's like a nice scorer and already has like a year of the G League under his belt, so he's kind of like already a little bit more up to speed. Some are saying he might be a little bit more up to speed than Cade, but I just think like based off the team dynamic, I like Cade in there more because you have like a Jeremy Grant that can score 25 a game. We already got a Sadiq Bey that can score 15 to 20 a game. I think Cade can kind of just fit in there and be a distributor. Keep the defense honest, play good defense, on the other side of the floor. And I think he's just going to have his hands in many different pots. I think I talked about how, like, I don't really love how Jeremy Grant just scores 25, but just doesn't really do anything else, like barely the rebounds or even like assists, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I definitely see Cade being kind of like a 15, 7, and 6 guy, kind of like filling that void, crashing the boards and getting other people involved. That'll kind of help that offense be a little bit more fluid, to where Sadiq and Jeremy can just kind of do their thing, and then Cade can, fit right in and also do his thing when that time comes too.
we talked about it a little bit. I definitely had some doubts and thought that Jalen Green, I do think they're both going to be great players. Like, I think both are going to have phenomenal careers.
Yep.
I think at this current moment, I would have to say Jalen Green is probably a better pure scorer.
Yep.
But I would say I like almost everything else better about Cunningham. He's a better leader. He's more well-rounded. He actually plays defense. He's bigger. And
He's a better situation too.
yeah, and also just because he has had a year of experience, that might get him a little more catapulted early on. But if once Cunningham gets a whole another year, he might catch up to you very quickly, along with all the other attributes of being bigger, faster, stronger, better leader. Then by year 2 or 3, you can still drop or score points at the drop of a dime, but all of my other game is so much more superior to yours that it doesn't matter. So that's kind of how I imagine that playing out. But
Yeah,
both
I
great
think.
players.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, both great players. I didn't like Jalen Green. I mean, that was I've only seen him like really play live like twice. Like I didn't really see him play in the G League or anything like that. I saw highlights, but
Yeah, just the highlights.
yeah, I think one thing too, Pat, people have to keep in mind is like that Houston Rockets team. Like they just got a lot of guards, and the situation. Like he looks good. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting to see how that situation unfolds. To where I think, like I said earlier, Cade just kind of like he's a puzzle piece, and he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Green might be more of like a square peg. Like kind of put that into like like a triangle like hole. You know what I mean? Like I don't it. Their team is just a lot worse off than the Pistons are, which is why I think that I'm optimistic. Obviously, they both have great careers, but some people are trying to say that Jalen's gonna be better and things along those lines. I think both of them are right where they. I like Cade right where he's at with us. I think I prefer him for sure more over Jalen Green.
I agree, and I can't think of the guy's name right now, but the Houston Rockets drafted that kid out of Turkey. He's pretty damn legit too. Number with the 15th pick, I think.
Yeah,
That
they
kid's
got
gonna be good.
and they got the guy Josh Christopher. He's supposed to go to Michigan.
Yep, him too.
Got him at like 21. They might even drafted one more guy.
They drafted some dude. He won. I'm trying to find his name on right now, but I can't. But he won. He was 18 and he won the Turkey League MVP. They drafted him with like the 15 or 17 pick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I think overall they got a couple good pieces as well. But
yeah,
I agree.